Hey guys, it's kind of dark in here, but I just kind of woke up. It's 4:45 a.m. and so I just want to talk a little bit about like healing father wounds. I feel like that's actually like a really big oops, like a really big topic that I want to discuss. So over the span of like 1 year, God has basically taken me through a long journey of dating and ministry, even to men. And I think some people have like a very closed and narrow mindset of dating. I used to. I used to go to a Baptist church, and I didn't really think that men and women could be friends. And one of the things that God has shown me is that people have a very, very, very unfortunate, narrow mindset of what it looks like to grow and learn. And yes, for some people they literally just meet their husband and that's it. And but this is not the kind of journey God has me on. I have learned from every person that I've ever met in my lifetime, especially this year, understanding, spending time with men and understanding who they are, understanding their struggles. And I've had people say like they wouldn't hang out with men at all, or be friends with men, and that's just a misconception. I grew up with a brother. I was basically best friends with him. I talked to him about everything. I didn't grow up with my dad, and so in a weird way my brother was kind of my dad in a weird way. I felt comfort in talking to him. And then later on, we just kind of lost touch. We were no longer close. And like some of the ways that the Lord has been healing me and showing me just things that I wanted, right? Like even yesterday, I was talking to my guy friend, and I just said something like, I just want to know that someone really cares about me, even if there's no potential for a relationship. I just want to know how they feel about me. To me, it doesn't even matter if he's my husband in the future. I just want to know his heart for me. And I just said, my dad didn't take care of me. He didn't, raise me really. But if he would just say to me that I'm proud of you, I care about you, I love you, that's enough for me. And then when I said that, it was an emotional breakthrough and I started crying. And it just showed me what I was actually looking for. That to me, it was more important that I saw their heart than that they constantly doing things and things like that and not telling me how they feel about me. So that was a powerful moment for me, where it's like when you start to go after what it is that you want and your heart's desire, for me it is connection, right? My heart's desire to be understood, to be loved. And here's the thing, that a misconception I see so much in the Christian world is that it's wrong. People will tell you it's wrong to go after what you want. You should wait on God, and you should sit there on the couch and not delve into, dating, delve into relationships, delve into trying. And that's a really big misconception. That's why we see divorce happen so much, is because people don't allow themselves to get to know people before they even commit to a relationship. And like there's so much breakthrough that happens when you allow yourself to just get to know people instead of feeling this pressure that they've got to be my husband. And if they're not, then I can't even spend time with them. I can't get to know them. And people are so much more concerned about, well, I don't want to stumble and I don't want to sin and I don't want to, fornicate, or I don't want to, get physical with someone or feel used and all that. I am someone who is waiting till marriage to have sex. But I'm not like a total prude, right? But one of the things that I've learned is that God is more concerned about your heart than what you do. And I think that the biggest thing he wants to heal in this season for many of you is understanding like there is trial and error, and that to overcome the fear of failure, to overcome feeling like relationship is this clean, like this clean, no drama, no mess thing, but it's not. And there's a lot of conversation that has to happen as you start to date, as you start to understand what it is that you want, as you learn to confront issues with people, as you learn to, overcome conflict. You understand, how does this person deal with conflict? How do they deal with my emotions? Does it tell me that I'm dramatic, that I'm too emotional, that, I'm just too much? And what do they mean by too much? And I've even had discussions with people about feeling like, I don't like it when you say that I'm too much because you're insinuating that I'm a burden. And they're like, no, when I say you're too much, it means you're too cute. And I'm like, okay, well, there's even like difference in perspective and in what you say, the words that you say and what you mean. And there's so much more behind it than we think. And most of us are kind of like going into dating. Well, here's a few misconceptions that I feel like I've heard from people. Okay, well, God's just gonna send you the one. Okay, for some people it's like that, but for me, God hasn't told me that. God has constantly just brought men into my life. Here, like spend time with this person. Understanding yourself, healing what it is that you need to heal from as you date, as you go through this, and I feel like the misconception is that I need to know this is my husband and then I'll spend time with him, when in actuality you need to start dating and just go for it and just not be afraid of rejection. If that is your heart's desire to date, do it. Like, I think the misconception is this overwhelming fear of rejection, fear of failure. What if this fails? And what I've learned is it's not even about just getting to the end goal of meeting the one. It's really about understanding who you are, who that person is, understanding how to deal with conflict, how to overcome, differences and confrontation, and just even, for me, understanding, like, I know for some people, they're like, yeah, I just fall in love with one person, and that's it. Like, I'm someone who's always been very loving. It's very easy for me to like someone. It's very easy for me to, like, even fall in love. I can care very deeply about a person just because they're there. Like, but at the same time, I can turn around and be like, oh, I care for this person too. And I like this person too. And I love this person. And some people find it really strange. But I'm like, I'm just someone who's full of love, and doesn't make me weird. It's just, that's just how I am. Like, because I realized for me, because I didn't grow up with my dad, it's more about that, like, I want to be loved and I want to be accepted and I want to feel, this warmth from a human being. And listen, I know this sounds strange, but if that person is attentive, if that person listens well, that person really gives me the time of day, the attention and the care that I would have wanted, I think, from my dad, I feel loved. And in the past, I've kind of gone for guys who were emotionally distant and didn't give me what I wanted. And there's a great book that I recommend, Keeping the Love That You Find, is that sometimes we look for our fathers or mothers in a potential spouse, and we get exactly what our parents are, or they can fulfill what our parents didn't give us. And so that is literally the biggest thing that God has shown me, is that yes, my dad might be distant and he might be absent, but I don't deserve that. I deserve better. I deserve someone who will love me, be attentive, be caring, be present, show that he cares, say that he cares. And like, the only way that your heart actually learns is to experience it. So as you date, you see that, okay, well, this person, he didn't give me the love that I long for, right? So you move on and you're like, that's a horrible kind of love, right? Even though it reminds me of my father, or reminds me of my dad, or my mom, this is not the type of love that I deserve. I deserve better. So then you move on to the next. But most of us, I would say that a large majority of the world will actually settle for what their father or mother was, right? So instead of moving past that in dating and getting to know people and experiencing love in relationships or in dating or getting to know people, what they do is, this looks really familiar. This is the type of love that I know. This feels so familiar. I'm going to settle here and be abused and be manipulated and be brought low. I'm going to settle here. And so that's why we see so much divorce, is that a lot of people they feel like they have to just get there. Like, I have to just get there to marriage. I just have to marry someone so that I can feel loved. And what the Lord has shown me is, for some people, their process might look like, okay, well, I just went on a few dates, cool, like, he's not the one, I'm not gonna spend time with him. But for me, it's been more like, even if he's not the one, let me spend time with him, get to know myself and who I am, and then, yeah, keep going. But at the same time, it's about understanding that, okay, this is the type of love that I deserve, or this is not the type of love that I want. I don't want to be abused. I don't want to be verbally abused. I don't want a guy who says he cares and doesn't show it. I don't want a guy who only contacts me once every month. You learn what it is that you deserve, and as you just go after what you want, the more you go after what you want, even though in that moment you might be like, well, other people might look at you and say, why are you doing that? as you go after your heart's desires, go after what you want, spending time with the people that you want, and understanding and going through the vulnerability that comes with that conversation, comes with that person, you have emotional breakthroughs, just as the ones I've talked about. You have these breakthroughs of understanding who you are, what you want, what your father and mother represented to you. And as you talk things out with that person, be vulnerable with that person, you have a deeper understanding about what it is that you're looking for and who you are in the relationship to that person and to yourself and to your parents and what happened and what there's so much depth. There's so much depth that we skip before marriage. There's so much depth. I was just in line at a froyo place with someone that I met online, actually. I was hesitant to download this dating app, and I was like, why not? And, we have to be open to how God leads. A lot of people look down on dating apps and they look down on different things. But I have met, like even recently, I met this family on Let Go. I was getting rid of a bag of clothes, and like God led me to a kind Mexican family, and the father was very nice and bought clothes for me, and I asked them for a ride. Things like that. You just never know where, like, how and where God will lead you to people, to family. And so one of my deepest heart's desire is family, because I don't really have very close family out here in LA. My dad lives in Taiwan. My brother, I don't know where he is. He doesn't really talk to us. My mom's at work most of the time. So I don't have family, but I have spiritual family. I have a lot of, brothers and sisters in Christ. I have friends that are not Christian, but who are family to me. So we build the family that we're looking for. But for me, I love family, and so God has brought me to people who have big families, and so I was at an outlet, right? And I see this like black baby. She's so cute. She's like African American, adorable little baby, but the whole family was Mexican. And I just thought, I wonder if she's adopted, But as I was looking at her, I just thought, you know what? I feel like that baby. Like a lot of times when I meet like other people's parents and families, I think like, yeah, I want them to adopt me. I want to feel like I'm part of a family, because they don't feel like a part of my family's family. So it's like, God understands our craving for love and belonging, and he wants us to be part of whatever family that he can build for us. And so if family looks like, being welcomed by your friends' families, let that be, because I think that in my family, there was so little like acceptance and approval and understanding and love and care that God was like, okay, well, let me lead you to people who love you for who you are. Let me lead you to those that will embrace you. And I think that in this whole dating process, that's what God has shown me, is that it's not even about just loving a person, but bringing me into families and bringing me to meet parents and meet families and meet structures of family, and being that light to them, but also feeling like this little baby who has been adopted to many families. And you know, this desire for parents, this desire for a mother or father who will love me for who I am, and then having conversations, you know, with a mother figure, and not feeling the judgment and the shame or the guilt, that I've had many, to be honest, I've had many friends' parents like without even meeting me and talking to me, have prejudgments about who I am just because I live in freedom. Like, I don't live under, you know, rules or control or fear. I live in freedom. And a lot of parents don't like seeing their kids like that. They don't want to see their kid doing whatever they want. They want to control their kids. And so they're like, okay, you're hanging out with Rebecca. Like, oh, I don't want you hanging out with her. And that really hurts. Like, when I've heard that before, it really hurt. Because I'm like, okay, I'm here teaching your children to speak up for themselves, to have a mind of their own. And you're out here saying you don't want them hanging out with me because I'm teaching them to have a mind of their own. And you're not okay with that? Okay. You know what I mean? So, you know, growing up, there was times I would be home alone at like 6 or whatever age. At a young age, I was home alone. I really had to become independent and take care of myself. I was very neglected and felt abandoned, but at the same time, it taught me to be like a heart driven. So I would have this desire, like, yeah, you know what? I want to go to the store and buy something. And I would run out by myself independently and follow my heart's desire. That is why I'm so heart driven. That is why I can hear the Holy Spirit so well, is that I didn't have someone telling me you can't do this, and you know, you're not allowed to do this, or you should do this, and that's how you should live your life. It's because my mom did not have the time to tell me or be there to be like, you can't go out and you can't do this. It's like I literally just went and and was very strong-willed and very, you know, heart-driven and very desire-driven. And so, yeah, I have maybe a desire for adrenaline rushes, and then I fall really fast and I get hurt really fast. But as I was talking to a guy friend, I said, you know, I want to live my life with my heart open every single day. If I'm going to get hurt, I will get hurt. I'm going to cry. And I'll cry every day if I need to, but I want to love without fear every single day and not feel like I need to hold back. And so, anyways, that is all. Thanks for watching. God bless you. Make sure to subscribe to my blog, RebeccaLeon.com, and to if you'd like to make a donation to this ministry, you could do so on my website. I love you guys. Good morning. You guys you're up very early. My website. God bless you.